Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to my channel. The Witch is in. I scored this little cabinet thrifting for $4. Isn't it cute? It is just so cute and sweet. We're just gonna have to see what we can do about that. We can't have that. We don't do cute and sweet over here. Well, every now and then, I guess. And I take these drawers out. I don't actually use the drawers. Anyway, we have a very large Amish community in our area here. And I took these little doors off and carried them down to a young man, just, God, not even half a mile down the street from my house. And had him cut out the inside of the doors. And he just did a beautiful job. So I've got everything off. And there's my little door. He did a fantastic job. It's smooth. I barely had to sand it. Barely had to sand it. We're going to put chicken wire in there, so we want to be able to see everything. So this is folk art sage green chalk paint. And I painted the entire cabinet with that. And then I spray a light coat of that chiffon cream. I want this green to show, and we also distressed with some black paint. You'll see. But I did want the little mix of color, but I wanted that green to show through. It's such a pretty color. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That guy did such a fantastic job. So I've sprayed the chiffon cream spray chalk paint, and I'm going to take my sandpaper and I'm going to, I'm just going to scuff it a little, really. It doesn't take much. Again, I put a very light coat on, and I don't want to take it all the way down to the wood, even though I've got 2 coats of that green. But yeah, I wanted a light color, and then, come in with the black later, but I wanted it to be a light color in the background, light enough so you can see all the bottles I put in there. They're too dark. You wouldn't be able to see them, so we want a little bit of a light background. And I just take my sand and block and go over everything and very lightly distress with the sandpaper. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I really appreciate you guys. My channel has been growing so fast, and you guys have been super nice, super sweet. It has been a lot of fun, and I really want to keep creating this content, and because of you guys so far, looks like I'll be able to. Excuse my wobbly table. I started sanding it at my little craft table, and I'm like, nah. I ended up taking it outside and doing it on the picnic table and just getting it done. it was making a mess, and the wobbly table wasn't helping. So this chicken wire that came from one of my friendly neighborhood Amish farms over here, and I told him what I needed, and he's like, well, I'll just give that to you. So he just gave me that since I needed just 2 little pieces. So we're going to cut that to fit. And I can't really show you everything. This video is long enough as it is. So I'm just trimming the edges off. I don't want a big long thing poking somebody. This part was the biggest pain in the butt. Dude, I don't know. I can't believe I wasn't bleeding by the time I was done. I walk around the house, I start bleeding and don't know why. And I was sitting here with the chicken wire and just knowing I was going to stab myself, but I never did. I was very proud of myself. So I'm just taking a little sponge dabber and dabbing this black chalk paint on the chicken wire. And then I'm going to take my chip brush and I'm going to distress with the same black chalk paint. I didn't record me attaching the chicken wire. I had to take it out to the garage and get the staple gun, and I was like, no, I'm not even going to try to do that. So, yeah, you'll have to see it all put together in the reveal at the end, but I went to Hobby Lobby and bought some beautiful hardware for it. I'm so happy with this. So there, now we got the black on the little door here, or the frame of the door. But yeah, I wanted that light color showing through the background, and it turned out to be a good decision because there's no way you'd be able to see. You can barely see the bottles inside the cabinet, as you know, because they're dark. So look at this. I just love it. I just love it. So now I'm going to take the cabinet, and I just used where the drawers went to, I was going to use the drawers and decided not to. Yeah, I think earlier in the video it showed it painted across the front, but not all the way, so I went back and painted the inside. And here's what it's going to look like, all done, without the hardware and the chicken wire. Look at that. Oh yeah, oh, so happy with this. You have that light color in the background. You can still see that pretty green, but it's just enough distress to make it look witchy. So, yeah. Outstanding. Gotta have the witchy. So here I do have footage of me putting the little hinges on. I went ahead and put them on so that I didn't have the chicken wire in my way to put it on. And I don't know if I didn't record it, but I can't find the footage of the pretty hardware I put on the door. So you'll have to wait and see. DIY number 2, elixir. Now this, of course, is all the potion bottles. These came from Dollar General. They are so stinking cute. But we're going to de-cute them, of course. So it took a little bit of love from the heat gun to get these labels off. So now I spray painted them black, but it's hard to see on here because it had that really pretty pearlescent looking colors, and so I just sprayed it very lightly so the color would still show through a little bit. And this is just a little jar my son gave me, painted black, and I have this webbed ribbon here, and I cut off the wired edges, and we're going to create a really cool texture with that. And this is Aileen's tacky glue, and we're going to glue that down, wrap it around and glue it down. And once we get that done, we're going to go back over it with the black chalk paint again. Yeah, it gave it a really pretty look to it. And I've got my folk art black currant. I love that color. And I paint the lid with that. And I've got, so this is going to be kind of shifting around back and forth. These little labels I got from Etsy. I will try to find the link. It was a while back that I got these. And here's the different labels I got. I got all different sizes. I have all different size bottles. And I also distressed the lid with some black. Like I said earlier, I can't show everything in this video. It would be way too long. And then I did fussy cut these labels. That's such a pretty shape. And we're just Mod Podging that to the front. These were so much fun to do. Make sure our edges are down. You know how those edges are when you're Mod Podging. Good Lord. It's enough to make you crazy. Now these bottles I got thrifting. Oh, they're just perfect. And those bigger labels are going to go on those bigger bottles. And look at this thing. Oh my God. Dollar General for $3. It's a plant watering thing. But I thought, oh no, that's going to be a potion. Hells yeah. And these are little spice jars from 1972 or something that I've had since forever. They were my mother's. I have like a dozen of them. And I thought, you know, I can steal 2 of those because I don't need them all. I don't use them. I keep them for looks. So, but yeah, they're ancient. Look, I got everything on my table. My remote and everything else. So this little bottle, I got this thrifting. And I've got the label on here that says snake oil, and I Mod Podged it to the bottle. Now I'm putting a coat on top of a coat of Mod Podge on top, and I went ahead and covered the whole front of the jar with the Mod Podge. You can do that if you want, and that will help add texture to it, but you don't have to. I found that the antiquing wax stuck to the glass just fine, but all I was doing there was dabbing antiquing wax over the front of it, and then I just do the whole rest of the bottle. Now here I've got the antiquing wax again, and we're distressing this label, and then make sure if you have a cork, get that antique wax on the cork too. You want to darken that as well. And we're hitting this label. So yeah, it jumps around back and forth. Sorry about that, but this one was kind of tough to film because I just had so many different jars going. I had this jar over here drying. Where's the lid to this one? What label fits on this? Yeah, so it was back and forth, and it took me several days to do all these jars, but I did enjoy doing it. Now this thing, oh my goodness, I hated to dirty it up. It's so pretty, but we're going to. Now you see I put the label on the same as the other, and I just took the chip brush in the antique wax and just kept dabbing antique wax on these jars, and they all turned out so pretty. This little thing is some little miniature thing I got at a yard sale, and I painted that, I think, with the Waverly sandstone, I think is what that is. And I'm just distressing that with the antiquing wax as well. I just thought it was so cute, and I'm like, yeah, I'm using it for something. But yeah, everything is distressed with the antiquing wax for all these jars. And what do I got now? Oh yeah, this bottle. I went ahead. My husband didn't have any gray primer. You might want to invest in a can of gray primer, light gray primer, because I have such a hard time with the chalk paint sticking to glass. I don't know if I'm too impatient or what. It's like I could swear the first coat's dry, and then I go for the second coat, and it's peeling off. So one way to stop that is to spray paint it first, and then I just let that dry overnight. But that's just a white flat that I used. But yeah, primer would be best because it's cheaper, first of all. But I had that white flat on hand, so that's what I did. In this little jar, I think this was a little tiny mustard jar. Something like you get from a hotel or something. And I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm putting the labels on and distressing them. So this little spider here, I needed his legs because this jar here, the label says spider's legs. So I cut off all but 4 of his legs. And we're going to use him later, though. Don't you worry. And we're just distressing, just heavy distress around the edge of the labels. So there, we're going to put the spider. And that's one of those little Dollar Tree clips is what that is. So he's escaping from the little jar. And we put a label on that. I don't know if I show you that or not. That says beware. So now we've got the labels on these bottles, and I put a little fancy sticker on the one there because the label was a little short. So I thought, well, I'll just decorate it. And that that might be my favorite one. That rounded bottle there. They all turn out so pretty. But yeah, oh, that's also that black currant I painted the one on the left with. And I've got some other bottles. And like I said, I can't show you everything because I'd be here for a month trying. But you get the idea. Because you're going to have different bottles and different, items you find. And Hobby Lobby, when they have the 40% off on the right week, they have some really cool bottles. There's a couple bottles that I picked up from there as well. There's one that's brown glass. I don't know if I showed it yet or not. And that one came from Hobby Lobby. And it was only a couple bucks because it was on the 40% off. So yeah, we're just laying on this antiquing wax like there's no tomorrow. I went through half the jar. This bottle here, that came from Hobby Lobby. That tall, skinny one. And I'm tearing out the... Oh, the round is, since it's round, I like to tear a couple notches in the label so that when you're trying to lay it down, it's not just bunching up on you when you're trying to Mod Podge it to it. And then it will, you lay that little, you create like a tab in the center, and you kind of lay that down first, and then the other two will lay over it fairly easily. And then you want wrinkles. It's okay to have wrinkles, because then the distressing just picks that up, and it just adds to the aging look. And this label says Balsam of Life. Now, I do need to note that if you intend to keep these bottles, you're gonna want to seal them. That antique wax, you can just wash it right off. So if you want to decorate these and be able to wash them, great. Just leave them alone, because you get them soaking in water, and that Mod Podge label will also peel off, and you just get some soapy water, and they clean right up. But if you want to keep them, you're gonna want to seal them with maybe dishwasher safe Mod Podge or a spray on finish, but you're gonna want to seal them. So now me, I don't know. I haven't sealed mine yet. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, to tell you the truth. But yeah, you're gonna want to seal them if you want to keep them for any length of time. So here I've got this little, I don't know what it says though. This one just says Hocus Pocus. It's one of my little spice jars. And my little spider in there. Elixir of Opium. So now you can take faux flowers or dried flowers or even real flowers. Now they're going to grow some funk if you put them in there. You know, they might kind of rot and grow some crud. But again, you can wash all these if you need to after Halloween or whatever you intend to do with them. But dried flowers is best, or faux flowers, then you don't have to worry about it. Because see, again, I'm just dabbing antique wax right on the glass, and it sticks to it and it dries fine. It's not going to wipe off. Once it's dry, it's not going to just wipe off because you picked it up. But if you get it wet, it is going to come off, so just be aware of that. But yeah, I went through a lot of antiquing wax doing this, but these are fun. But it does take some time. You got to cut out your labels, and I also spent time trying to decide what to put in the jars that made sense with what the label said. Now, if they're painted where you can't see through them, it doesn't matter. You don't have to put anything in them. Or even this brown tinted jar. And I'm just darkening around the label and adding a little bit of antique wax here and there, because it didn't need darkened much. You just want kind of spots of it darkened. And of course your cork. And we just keep dabbing it on until we're happy with it. I should have picked up a couple more of these brown bottles. They're very cool. So now I'm just taking it's a baby wipe that I've wrung out the excess liquid really well, and some antiquing wax, and we're going to stain some chiffon ribbon and just make it look aged and dirty. This is some leftover torn fabric strips here, along with a piece of black chiffon ribbon. And we're just going to tie them to some of these bottles. Give them a little character. Fray the edges there. And this bottle here, it's called Tincture of, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Tincture of Shadows. It's supposed to make you invisible. And it is also a black liquid. So I just took some black acrylic paint and squirted it down in the bottom and kind of swirled it around. You see where it's black on the bottom area, and swirled it around inside to make it look like there was black liquid in there, and just let that dry. This bottle has one of those little or jar I should say, has one of those little flip tops with the I don't even know what you call that, little clamp. And I just put a little piece of burlap, cut it off of a piece of burlap ribbon and tucked it under there and aged it. And then I'm going to go over and age the ribbons where they'd likely be more dirty than other areas, you know. Darken it up here and there. And this, I have some faux flowers in this one. This was supposed to be, what is it called? Oh, went too fast. I missed it. I can't remember what it's called. But I found a faux floral I had that resembled it. Oh, hemlock, I think it was. And in this, I just tie like a little bow with a little piece of raggedy, rag ribbon strip of something I ripped. It's just some old piece of fabric. It doesn't matter what it is. You can use whatever you like. And I'm just going around and aging the ribbons. Oh, that's the one that's hemlock. I'm sorry. That one's hemlock, and I have a flower in there that resembles it. That's what it was. And of course, you don't have to put anything in the jars, but just remember, if it's something liquid, make sure you have some kind of tight-fitting cork or a lid or something. You don't want that spilling, especially if you've got food coloring, something that could stain or whatever. And I apologize for my video quality here. It's kind of dark, but here's what I got for you. And anybody who's been watching my videos for a while will recognize some of these other pieces. I just decorated my living room hutch with all this fun stuff. I just love it. Fortunately, my husband likes it too. I wasn't sure. He's like, "Can this stay up?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." But I have some little purple fairy lights that I ran through the inside of the cabinet, and I'll show you a little bit of that as well. But you can't see any details at all with them on, so we'll just have a quick glimpse coming up here. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Can you believe Halloween's only a week away? Soon I'll be doing some dark and moody and a little Gothic Christmas. Hope you stay tuned. Don't forget to like and share and all the things. Bye.